Yeah. No, I'm joking. Peace to everybody. My fault about the live ending so abruptly, but now I'm gonna read a couple chapters out of this book, and always we're gonna start. Instead of music, I will start a video off with some rhymes, a cappella, a cappella. I gotta find the one I want to say right quick. We are all kings and queens, gods and goddesses, but you must pay homage to the creator, the source, the positive and negative, the light, the burning torch, the energy that activates the serpent's course, the caduceus, the chakras, the sun and moon, her blanket of stars that march in unison like a platoon, an umbrella of lights. Everything starts from the central point of Polaris, Mount Meru. Current current of energy ripples outward the sea of ether. Luminaries sing the song of life, a vibrational speaker. Tune into the frequency, elevate your mind, it's an extension. I crawled out the pits of hell searching for heaven. Wandering planets aligned, the moon was crescent. They say money makes the globe go round, but the earth is a stationary ground. All your theories are like your pronouns. The truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. Now that's profound. Oops. Huh. Kimba, peace. I mold violence like Play-Doh. My M14 will shoot off your halo. Elevate your crown chakra. Missiles, grenades, long barrel llamas. Pro Second Amendment, the governments don't want no drama. I'ma light the block up, Thomas Edison. A basket case off his medicine. You won't catch me slipping. No half stepping. Controlling the masses with construct mechanisms. Fuck all the isms. Tyrannical traitors, I kill 'em. Divide like the duality of the brain, medulla. The Glock's red dot on your forehead like the mark of Buddha. 44 Smith & Wesson hollow tip 6 shooter. Snatch your soul like a fentanyl addict. Snatch your soul like a fentanyl addicted booster. I like that. 44 Smith & Wesson hollow tip 6 shooter. Snatch your soul like a fentanyl addicted booster. Keep the heavy metal on my hip. 1890s European slave ships sold my ancestors a dream in a one-way trip. I make the sun rays shift. Moon dark and lunar eclipse. I don't know. I didn't even know that was in here. I just picked that one. Scientifically proven, we are not on a globe. We are within the cosmic egg. DNA is the genetics to the cosmic thread. The caduceus energizes the arm, leg, arm, head. Allah is you and you are God. Vision is crystal clear, spitting lightning rods. Touch the heavens like Gog, gigantic. I'm a threat to those tyrants, got 'em frantic. Political throwback, governments can't stand it. Paint metal, paint mental pictures like paint brushes over canvas. My ancestors were slaves even after they crossed the Atlantic. Fuck a reparation. I want to bury politicians, then erect a slab of granite. Rotten piss, fuck 'em. Doctors wear the white coats that resemble coat robes. Modern day dark magicians. Inserting beep with nanoprobes. No money in cures, only in treatment. Keeping the masses sick and misformed is the secret. Sheeple are the foundation to the pyramid of elitists. All rise, witchcraft in the court. Fictitious characters are summoned. If your name is in all caps, it's all cap. Now isn't that something? The contract became the new word is bond. Bondage, all in the name of their dictator God. Raping Mother Earth's resources. And on women and children they drop bombs. People just sit back instead of holding these parasites accountable. Wow. Why wait for Jesus? The problem can be handled now. We need a revolution, more like a revelation. This is my declaration. Independent from your lies with full separation. Cross the line and you will be in my crosshairs. I send you to the crossroads with no hesitation. What you know about that? They'll sound better if I had some beats. Well, I'm going to read these 3 chapters. Yeah, people say it's poetry, but believe it or not, when I was younger, I thought hip-hop was poetry. I could be wrong, but from what I understand, Wu-Tang even said, damn it. But yeah, poetry, to me, is what the Wu-Tang and everyone rhymed to it. A rhyme is poetry, put it that way. Fuck that, I don't even feel like reading. What's that chapter? Maybe I'll read. I'm gonna jump to chapter. Wow, one of the chapters is called A New Identity for Christopher Columbus. Huh. Isn't that something? Mark, Kimba, Bex, what else is in here? Native, peace. Alright, let me read this real quick. These chapters are small. I did say I would. America cannot refuse the challenge of leadership in the post-war world. Mere physical reconstruction of ravaged countries and the reorganization of political, economic, and social systems is the lesser task we will face. The larger problem and the great challenge is in how to set up a new order of world ethics, firmly established on a foundation of democratic idealism. Experts in various fields have already submitted programs designed to meet the needs of those nations whose way of life have been disrupted by war. But with the failing common to specifically trained minds, these planners incline to think mostly in the terms of their own particular interest. As yet, no one has touched the fundamentals of international ethics. No one has advanced a working plan securely based upon a broad, deep, and sympathetic understanding of the human being and his problems. The thinking has been in the dual fields of power politics and material economics, with remedies expressed in terms of charts, blueprints, patterns, and industrial programs. But there is one new and encouraging element present in most of the recommendation of today's experts. They are recognizing the necessity of conceiving the world as one interdependent structure, yet even as they recognize the need for a unity of human interests. Their recommendations are for the perpetuation of highly competitive economic policies, which, if they are consistently applied, must lead in the end to war and discord. It is not easy. It is not an easy task to unite the efforts of the human race toward the accomplishment of any common good. Mankind is the majority. Is selfish, provincial in attitude, and concerned primarily with personal success and acquiring creature comforts. It will not be possible to build an enduring peace until the average man has been convinced that personal selfishness is detrimental to personal happiness and personal success. It must be shown that self-seeking has gone out of fashion and that the world is moving on to a larger conception of living. The post-war planners have more of idealism in their programs than has ever before been expressed in the problem of the relationship of nations. But it is still not enough. A clear and complete statement of a world purpose is required. A world dream great enough to inspire unity of world effort. Hold on. They're talking about bringing the world together. Was this before that UFO crash? Because they're talking about bringing the world together a different way than this UFO thing. So maybe this is 1944, I think it was. Maybe I'm wrong. It's not enough that we solve particular problems. We must solve the very cause of problem itself. Wars, depressions, crime, dictators, and their oppressions are the symptoms giving clear indication of a greater ailment. To examine each problem solely in terms of the problem itself, without recognition of its true relationship to a larger and more universal necessity, is to fail in the broader implications of an enduring peace and prosperity. Experience should have taught us long ago that policies which have originated from material considerations and attitudes have proved inadequate. The whole story of civilization and the records of history tell us that all the adjustments hold no hope of lasting peace or security. But here we are again preparing ourselves to be satisfied with temporary solutions for permanent problems. The recognition is long overdue that we oversimplify the problem of world peace when we think that process is one of breaking the task down for examination of its materialistic parts, and then hopefully devising an applicable remedy for each of these. The physical conditions of human existence are not the whole of the human problem. We could adjust all material considerations to the point of supremist equity. We could adjust all material considerations to the point of supremist equity and yet accomplish virtually nothing solutional. The greatest of known problems is the human problem, and not until all embracing examination is made into every phase of human needs can there be an adequate reconstruction policy for a post-war world. That man is physical is obvious, but he is also mental and emotional, he is spiritual, and he has a soul. These latter factors are not so obvious. What to do about them is not so easy, for they are difficult to understand and even more difficult to classify and reduce to a working pattern. We as builders of a civilization will have to learn that only when equal consideration is given to each of these elements of man's nature, we will arrive at the solutions for the disasters into which men and nations precipitate themselves. Our post-war reconstructors, ours, if not by our selection, at least with our consent, are not outstandingly qualified for this broader task. Few indeed are the statesmen and politicians who have any conception of man as a spiritual being. And as for military leaders, they are primarily wow, dis, disciplinarians. Damn, I couldn't say that. Disciplinarians, invaluable at such a time of war, but not at all emotionally geared to problems of individualistic peacetime character, and world planners recruited from among our industrial leaders, it must be admitted, are not generally informed on the working of the human psyche. Those who have made the study of human conduct their life work, the sociologists, have little scientific knowledge of the hidden springs that animate that very conduct into its amazing diversity of manifestation. And if a word is to be said for bringing in the clergy, it might be that the theologian planner who will be truly useful will be one who acquires at least some knowledge of the science of biology. We are displaying a woeful lack of vision in the way we fumble with the eternal laws of life. It is not enough that we now hopefully create a setup permitting men to give allegiance with their minds or to serve faithfully with their bodies. We must some day face the truth that man is inevitably and incurably an idealist. For this is the truth that will set us free. Man's need is for the idealistic content of his nature to be properly nourished. Then his whole consciousness will impel him to right action, and then no more will our laws fail, treaties be broken, and rights of man stand violated. The American nation desperately needs a vision of its own purpose. It must conceive it in a generous idealism, great and strong enough to bind thoughtless and selfish persons to something bigger than themselves. It must recognize that it is in the intangible ideal that the foundations are laid for all seeable good. Must know that the truly practical course and the course of hard realism for America is the one that is laid basically in a generous idealism. This is more than an indicated course. It is one that we inevitably must follow, guided by the hand of destiny. Believing this to be so, I dedicate this book to the proposition that American democracy is a part of the universal plan. Our world is ruled by inflexible laws which control not only the motions of the heavenly bodies, but the consequences of human conduct. These universal motions, interpreted politically, are impelling human society out of state of autocracy and tyranny to democracy and freedom. This motion is inevitable for the growth of humans and a gradual development of mind over matter, and the motion itself represents the natural and reasonable unfoldment of the potentials within human character. Those who attempt to resist this motion destroy themselves. To cooperate with this motion and to assist nature in every possible way to the accomplishment of its inevitable purpose is to survive. Thousands of years before the beginning of the Christian era, many enlightened thinkers discovered the will of God as expressed through nature and the affairs of men. They made known their discoveries in the terms of religions, philosophies, sciences, arts, and political systems. These first statements are now the admired monuments of ancient learning. Available to men of today, they are generally ignored. Years of research among the records of olden peoples available in libraries, museums, and shrines of ancient cultures has convinced me that there exists in the world today, and has existed for thousands of years, a body of enlightened humans united in what might be termed an order of the quest. It is composed of those whose intellectual and spiritual perceptions have revealed to them that civilization has a secret destiny. Secret, I say, because this high purpose is not realized by the many. The great masses of people still live along without any knowledge whatsoever that they are part of a universal motion in time and space. Pythagoras, Plato, Aristotle, Buddha, Jesus, and Mohammed are among the greatest names recorded in history, but it is not customary to regard the men who bore these names as statesmen or sociologists. They are thought of as philosophers, sages, seers, and mystics, whose doctrines have no application to the political needs of an industrial civilization. Yet it is like Plato and Buddha, who still exercise the most powerful force in mortal affairs toward the perpetuation and preservation of a civilized state among all nations. All of the great leaders of ancient times realized and taught that the establishment of a state of permanent peace among the nations depended upon the release of human ideals, but through properly trained and disciplined minds capable of interpreting these ideals in terms of the common good. World democracy was the secret dream of the great classical philosophers. Toward the accomplishment of this greatest of all human ends, they outlined programs of education, religion, indoctrination, and social conduct directed to the ultimate achievement of a practical and universal brotherhood. Helicopters. And in order to accomplish their purpose more effectively, these ancient scholars bound themselves with certain mystic ties into a broad confraternity. In Egypt, Greece, India, and China, the state mysteries came into existence. Orders of initiated priest philosophers were formed as a sovereign body to instruct, advise, and direct the ruler of the states. Thousands of years ago in Egypt, these mystical orders were aware of the existence of the Western Hemisphere and the great continent which we all call America. The bold resolution was made that this Western continent should become the site of the philosophic empire. Just when this was done, it is impossible now to say, but certainly the decision was reached prior to the time of Plato, for a thinly veiled statement of this resolution is the substance of his treatise on the Atlantic island. One of the most ancient of man's constructive ideals is the dream of a universal democracy and a cooperation of all nations in a commonwealth of states. The mechanism for the accomplishment of this ideal was set in motion in the ancient temples of Greece, Egypt, and India. So brilliant was the plan, and so well was its administration, that it has survived to our time, and it will continue to function until the great work is accomplished. Philosophy set up its house in the world to free men by freeing them of their own inordinate desires and ambitions. They saw selfishness as the greatest crime against the common good, for selfishness is natural to all who are untutored. Selfishness is natural to all who are untutored or brainwashed. It it recognized that the mind has to be trained in the laws of thinking before men can be capable of self-rulership. Huh. And it knew that the democratic commonwealth can be a reality only when our world is a world of self-ruling men. And so it is from the remote past, from the deep shadows of the medieval world, as well as from the early struggles of more modern times, that the power of American democracy has come. But we are only on the threshold of the democratic state. Not only must we preserve that which we have gained through ages of striving, we must also perfect the plan of the ages, setting up here the machinery for a world brotherhood of nations and races. This is our duty and our glorious opportunity. It seems to me that the basic plan for the post-war world should be one solidly founded in this great dream of universal brotherhood. It is not enough to work on a problem solely in terms of politics and industry. The formula must express a broad idealism, one which appeals to the finest intuitions of man, and one universally understandable by all who have lived, dreamed, and suffered on this mortal sphere. We're not on a sphere, Mr. Manly P. Hall. How's me? That's crazy. Manly P. Hall said a sphere. Peace, the realist McCoy, Paula, Orphan Annie. Chapter 2 is the world's first Democrat. Huh. It shows a picture of Egyptians sitting on a throne with the U.S. flag. They're sitting on the U.S. flag upside down. The leader who had the first social consciousness in the administration of a nation was a pharaoh of Egypt, Akhenaten, born several thousand years too soon. He saw that the duty of a ruler is to protect for all the right well, to live well, to think, to dream, to hope, and to aspire. For his dream of brotherhood of man, he cheerily gave his life. Huh. Man has passed out the state of savagery and became a civilized creature, really, with the development of social consciousness. Civilization is a collective state and our collective type of life. The isolationist is a detriment to himself and a menace to all others. There is a great difference between isolationism and intellectualism. Development of the mind releases the individual from mob psychology, but it does not set him apart from the common responsibilities of his kind. A true thinker becomes a force for good within the group life. If his intellectual powers lure him away from the practical problems and values of his world, he can no longer make his contribution to the social unity. Pol- uh, Political reforms are not accomplished by the people, but through the people. Behind all collective progress stands the enlightened individual's leadership. His superiority does not free him from common responsibility. He is the obligation to assume the greater burden of directing his vision to the well-being of all his people. Let us see how this works. We'll go far back to ancient times. Akhenaten, Pharaoh of Egypt, throned under the title Amenhotep VI, is often referred to as the first civilized human being. While this may not be literally true, he was definitely the first man in recorded history to exemplify social consciousness in the administration of a great nation. Akhenaten, the beloved child of the Aten, was born at Thebes, I think it's Thebes, about 1388 BC. Like most of the princes of his house, he was extremely delicate as a child, and it was feared that he would not live to reach the throne as the last of his line. The dynasty would end with him if he died without issue. For this reason, he was married in his 12th year to a 10-year-old Egyptian girl in noble birth named Nefertiti. Nefertiti? Where is it? Yeah, it's Nefertiti. I said titty, it's Titi. Like in Spanish, they call it Titi Aunt. During the childhood of the young king, the queen mother, what's T-I-Y? Tai? T? I'm just going to say T or Tai. During the childhood of the young king, the queen mother Tai, I don't know, ruled as regent of the double empire. She is believed to have been of Syrian origin, which could account for the many strange and un-Egyptian ideas in religion, government, and art which were developed during the reign of Akhenaten. Queen Tiye, brilliant and capable, had recognized before her son reached his majority that in him were qualities more divine than human. The son became the actual ruler of his country in his 18th year. His reign extended for 17 years. Akhenaten had been ruler of Egypt only about 2 years when he opposed his will to the priesthood of Amun-Ra. By attacking the oldest and most firmly established of all the Egyptian institutions, the young pharaoh created legions of enemies and brought down upon himself the wrath of the religion of the state. He could scarcely have chosen a surer way of complicating the problems of his life. In the midst of this conflict, he proclaimed a new spiritual dispensation, and to escape his enemies, built a new capital city 160 miles up the Nile from Cairo. His new faith was Atenism, and he named the city Kutanaten, the horizon of the Aten, and dedicated the city with these words: Ye behold the city of the horizon of Aten, which the Aten has described me to make for him as a monument, and the great name of my majesty forever. For it was Aten, my father, that brought me to this city of the horizon. As high priest of this new religion, Amenhotep VI changed his name to Akhenaten because the older name included the word Amen, whose fate he had rejected. Really? Oh, Charles F. Potter, in his History of Religion, says of Akhenaten that he was the first pacifist, the first realist, the first monotheist, the first democrat, the first heretic, the first humanitarian, the first internationalist and the first person known to attempt to, to found a religion. He was born he was born out of due time, several thousand years too soon. Didn't you say that already? From his 26th year to his 31st year, Akhenaten devoted his life to the perfection of his mystical doctrine in the city which he had built for the ever-living God. Here he taught the mystery of the Divine Father and wrote the simple and beautiful poems which have endured and survived time. To Akhenaten, God was not a mighty warrior ruling over Egypt, speaking through the oracles of his priests. He was not a supreme being flying through the air in a war chariot, leading armies of destruction. Aten was the gentle father who loved all his children, of every race and nation, and desired for them that they should live together in peace and comradeship. Even more, God, the Aten had created all the lesser creatures, whether birds that nested in the papyrus reeds along the bank of the Nile, or dragonflies with many colored wings that hovered over quiet pools and the lotus blooms. The, the Aten was the father of all beasts, fishes, and flowers, and insects. He had fashioned them in the wisdom and preserved them with the love and tenderness. Akhenaten, seated in the garden of his palace, spent many hours watching the flight of birds and listening to the voices of little creatures. He tells us that he found the Aten in all of them, and that his heart went out to them, and he gave thanks for the goddess in everything that lived. This was a pharaoh who traveled alone through the countryside, meeting the peasants, conversing with slaves, and sharing the simple food of the poor. To the most ignorant man he listened with profound respect, for in each of his subjects he sought and found the life of the Aten. He saw the universal God shining through the eyes of little children, beheld the beauty of the Aten in the bodies of the men who worked in the fields. He could not understand why others did not see God in everything as he did. Like most of the great religious leaders, Akhenaten accepted the social problem of life as part of religion. He could not accept the inequalities of birth, wealth, or physical estate as a justification for men persecuting each other or exploiting one another. He saw everything having a divine right, a right to live well, to think, to dream, to hope, and to aspire. He saw it. He saw it the duty of the ruler to protect this beauty in the hearts of his people, to nourish it, and to give every possible opportunity for its expression and perfection. Religious intolerance was impossible among those who worshipped the Aten, and there was no room for political intolerance in a world governed by the laws of brotherly love. Each man became the protector and comforter of all other men, cherishing the dreams of others equally with his own. In his personal life, Akhenaten emerges as the first man in history to bring dignity and gentle beauty to the management of his home. He was the father of 7 daughters to whom he was completely devoted, and in his speeches and public pronouncements, he always referred to Queen Nefertiti as my beloved wife. It was It was usual for the pharaohs to cause themselves to be depicted in great stone carvings upon the walls of their palace. They were represented as majestic figures, crowned and sceptered. They were shown either seated on their thrones or wielding their weapons against their foes. Akhenaten was the only pharaoh in the history of Egypt who chose to be depicted with his arm about his wife, with his little daughters playing about and seated on his lap. As with the passing years, the health of the pharaoh grew worse. The opposition of the priesthood of Amun-Ra grew greater, and his reign was complicated by invasions of the Hittite nations. The governor of his various provinces pleaded with him for help, but Akhenaten would not send armies. The dreamer king saw his lands pillaged and his cities conquered, but he only not kill his enemies. They too were children of the Aten. Akhenaten died in his 36th year at the altar of the Aten in the temple of the faith he had created. When his mummy case was found, the following prayer to the Aten was discovered inscribed on golden foil beneath his feet. I breathe the sweat. Well, I breathe the sweat. I breathe the sweet breath which comes forth from thy mouth. I behold thy beauty every day. Give me thy hands, holding thy spirit, and I receive it, and may be lifted by it. Call thou upon my name unto eternity, and it shall never fail. In the words of the great Egyptologist, Professor, his name's Professor Breasted, there died with him such a spirit as the world had never seen before. Akhenaten was the first man in history who dared to dream of the brotherhood of men, and he cheerfully gave his life and his empire for that dream. He is indeed the beautiful child of the living Aten, whose name shall live forever and ever. Akhenaten, Akhenaten. Time. Akhenaten is rotten. Let's talk about why is water wet. Why did Judas grab the Romans while Jesus slept? Why is the sky blue? Why is water wet? Why did Judas grab the Romans while Jesus slept? I would love to see a little kid challenge a teacher, a little child, I mean, not a kid, no one's baby sheep. Tell them, we're not spinning on a globe. People should get a basketball and spin it, and then think about a giant globe. Or go on a ride at Six Flags. I forgot what the name of it is, the one that spins and throws you up against the wall. And then tell me if we're spinning 1,000 miles to the east. Burno. Paula. Paula missed a good video yesterday. 22 pages. What was it, chapter 2? Yeah. I like that other book. Maybe tomorrow I'll read chapter 3. It's like 30 pages, I think. I learn new words every day reading. Like Nefertiti. Is it Nefertiti or Nefertiti? It's Titi, I think. Not Titty. Excuse me, Miss Nefertiti? Can I see your boobs? Nefertiti. Nefertiti. That's a weird name. Even Otten's crazy. Nothing.
I was in and out yesterday.
Yeah, Aphrodite.
I wasn't there for the whole thing.
What, yesterday?
I was busy,
Aphrodite.
sadly.
Aphrodite. I remember that name.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to. Well, the video was probably pretty long. It'd be hard to rewatch. But yeah, I heard some of it yesterday. But yeah, you were talking about Akhenaten again, and that always, for some reason, makes me want to say Enoch Anaten. And until I find otherwise, until I find proof that proves me wrong, I'm pretty sure that was Enoch, because why else was he allowed to write so much? And it
I
was
don't
more
know.
than
This is the first time I read anything on him. Akhenaten and Nefertiti.
yeah,
And
Nefertiti,
I don't
yeah.
know why it's in this book. This book's supposed to be about. It's by Manly P. Hall, and it's called. Shit, what's the title?
Something about America, yeah. Like supposedly what's really supposed to happen to America, but it's not going to happen.
This Secret Destiny of America. Yeah, it was written in 1944. And
Yeah.
chapter 1 was the origin of democratic ideal, and the one I just read was the world's first Democrat was Akhenaten. He was the first
Yeah.
Democrat, I guess.
Huh.
The next chapter 3 is westward ocean travel to the early paradise. Now, I'm dying to know what this paradise is. Is it America? Oh, from Plutarch's description of voyages, it can be calculated that a great continent in the Western Hemisphere was visited by the ancient Greeks. They not only reached our shores, but explored part of the Great Lakes area. Under a thin veil of symbolism, they perpetuated in mythology their knowledge of our land, which they called blessed. The area was anciently set apart from coming generations in the great human experiment of the democratic commonwealth. They're saying the Greeks came to America. I mean the Greeks. Yeah, the Greeks. The geeks. I mean the Greeks.
It's probably where the word sprang from, but yeah, so yeah, the way that whole Manly P. Hall thing reads like I've been saying with my new revelation that the God or gods of the Bible are the governments that rule the world.
That's what it said yesterday in the other Manly P. Hall book I read. The other one was called shit, I forgot the other one, but I read the second chapter and or was it in the first chapter? But either way, the person in that book was saying the Old Testament is one God, the jealous, murdering, psychotic God, and the New Testament is the loving, whatever, nice God. And I thought a balance, the duality, how they always do it, good guy, bad guy, just like with
Yeah.
presidents. Or the cops
Right.
use that too. The good cop, bad cop. They'll do that. The
Right.
duality.
Right. And the way they think is the left is the bad God and the right is the good God. However, they've blurred the lines so much over the aeons that they're pretty much all bad because they're all in it for the money now. They don't care about the people anymore. And so we're never going to have this wonderful America that Manly P. Hall is speaking of. It can't happen. Not
It already
now.
did.
Huh?
When you look into the 50s and 60s, man, maybe that's just certain cities, but or shit. Even look at 1890s. If you look at America, most people think in 1890s America was this vast place with no cities, but it I beg to differ that because I got pictures of 1890 Chicago. It's got trains. Um, cities are just packed with beautiful architecture. But where the fuck are all the people in these pictures? I got tons of pictures, but there's no people.
Right. It's like, why? Why the hell is there no people? Is it AI generated? I mean, what's going on?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I know I don't trust this world more and more every fucking day. It's like that's why I haven't really gone live on my channel. I mean, yeah, it doesn't help that my husband's been off work for a couple months, but at the same time, I don't know that I can trust anything that I find online anymore because they only put online what they want us to see.
That's why
And
you gotta
I don't
read books.
trust them. So how can I trust what's on? Well, and then the books I don't trust fully either. I mean, there it's people trying to figure it out, but no any one person has it all figured out. I think we have to create
I
our way
trust
out of
books
here.
more than the internet. The
Definitely books
internet
more
is
than internet.
fucking. I mean, not all books. They weren't like. How could I put it? The internet is like everything's checked, and they could erase stuff and add stuff. A
Yep.
book, you got to hunt the book down, and then if there's 80 of them, you got to find all 80 of them.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. I feel the same way. So I just take the information in, and
Yeah.
if it comes to be true or not, it is what it is. Um, I just
Well,
like
that's
to
how you
read
figure it
stuff and
out. You
get
know,
ideas. Put it that way.
that's how you figure it out. You read all the different opinions, and
Yeah,
then you draw your own conclusions. Yeah.
I try not to sit there and be like, "This is factual," unless unless I know it is. But other than that, who knows anymore with these people?
Right.
They want us to not know who to trust or not know who to turn to. Or Obama said that in his speech to
Yep.
invade a country, or how do you say it? Not invade, but to conquer a country,
Yep.
or
Give
you make it so they don't know who to
disinformation.
trust.
Yep.
Yeah,
And make
and
it
he
to where they
passed the
don't
law.
know. Yeah.
Native said it. Not, that he passed the law so the
That
news could play
propaganda.
propaganda.
Yep. Well,
That's right in our face, the truth.
I got that motherfucker by the balls because don't you never, while I'm still breathing anyway, try to arrest a single ass motherfucker who believing in propaganda, because Obama is the one, and that is a fact. That is something that is factual. We have the video proof. I'm sure it's written down somewhere too. We have the proof that he's the one that said it was okay to propagandize America. So, if it's okay to propagandize America, then you cannot blame anyone for believing in the propaganda that a president of the United States of America said was okay to put out there. So, you want to put someone in jail, you go arrest his sorry son of a bitch and ass. Period.
They all need to go.
Fuck the fucking fuckers. Fuck them all.
Trump really didn't do nothing wrong, as far as I know.
Trump's a pig, and probably a male chauvinist pig at that. But he had good intentions where America was concerned. He did want to give us our country back. So I don't care what he does in his off time. I only care what he does on his presidential time. And gas was low and food prices were low, and nobody was fucking coming after the white man, and nobody was being racist, you know, for the most part, unless they're being raised racist. And then all this other shit that's happened since, you know, all these new people coming in here that are after us, and specifically white people. That shit wasn't happening. And it was, you know, it was better. It was less stressful. It wasn't the perfect life, but it was less stressful, which in a world like this is all you can fucking hope for. But ain't no motherfucker gonna fucking say it's okay to propagandize the fucking people, and then you're gonna fucking blame them for being propagandized. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Not on my watch. Not while I am still fucking breathing. No. And then he's going to do that, and then he's going to say, and everybody else who's with him is going to say those pushing the truth are the fucking liars and spreading fake news. No, bitch. Obama and his team, his crew, they're spreading the fucking lies. And anyone who comes against the lies is obviously telling the truth. That one really pisses me off. Can you tell? I ain't even fucking playing that shit. No. Just gives me cuss Tourette's. It pisses me off so bad. Ain't nobody else gonna come in here?
Kimba said she's doing something. She'll be up later.
Well,
I don't know what Bex is doing.
I guess Mark don't never come in. Who else was? Let me go to chat here and see. Go to comments. What we got? We got Kimba. We got Mark. Rebecca.
Yeah, she was on earlier.
Orphan Annie, she never comes on. What about the realist McCoy?
He came up before. Realist McCoy, I don't know if he's still in here.
I don't know neither, too. Yeah, I missed some of what you read, and I didn't take notes, and I should have. When it's a reading like that, we should always take notes, because then you get in the live like I am now, and I can't remember shit about what I wanted to fucking say now. I had something I specifically wanted to say when I first came in here, and I've long since forgotten already. I should have wrote it down. See, the way I would prefer to do it is be in here when you're reading, and then as you say something so that people can connect the dots better, put my 2 cents in, or anyone else's 2 cents if they're in here too. And then once everyone's put their quick like 2 cents in, then you could go back to reading and try to connect the dots a little better. So I don't know if they used the word democracy way back then, though. I don't know, because democracy is
Yeah.
mob rule.
Well, they probably didn't use that exact word, but
Yeah,
English is the newest language.
yeah,
I told this lady, she said good morning to me. I told her, what's so good about morning? She goes, what do you
right.
mean? And I said, when you go to a funeral, you mourn. She goes, yeah, but they're spelled different. And I go, yeah, but you're saying it the same way. It don't matter if you spell it different. It's the sound. That's the trick of the language. Just because it's a different definition, it's like ball. You're still saying ball, regardless of which one you mean. The deity, the basketball, ball.
Yep.
Morning. There's plenty of words.
Yeah, they just say the words and it doesn't, that always bugged me in school, which was why, oh, that's what I wanted to say. I took on the teachers. They told me sept meant 7, and then they tried to tell me that September was the 9th month of the
9.
year. And I questioned it, and they deemed me unindoctrinatable, and into the slow classes I went. This one cannot be indoctrinated. She's retarded because she won't accept our teachings. We got to get her out of class. She might wake up some other motherfucks.
Yeah. I purposely would spaz out in school just so them to kick me out and I'd go do what I wanted to do.
Well, we should have been able to do what we wanted to do anyway. School should have always been homeschooling, and it should have been reading, writing, and arithmetic. Anything else is indoctrination. Bullshit you'll never need if they let you go live your life the way you should be able to do. But they don't want us to go live our lives. They want us to fit in their box and do what they want us to fucking do when they want us to do it. Fuck you, this ain't your life, it's mine. Kiss my ever-loving ass. I'm so done with this fucking world. I'm just so done with this bullshit.
Oh no. That's that fan you have?
Yeah, that's my red fan. It's on low now, though. It's not bad, is it?
Those fans are always loud. No, now I don't hear nothing now, but when you started it, those fans have always been loud.
Must have a delay. Yeah, I got to turn it on really high first to get the flap to open. And then once the flap is open that leads to outside, then I can turn it down. But yeah, back to the other thing though, Akhenaten, a government ruler, but yet people worshipped him like he was a deity, a god. And I think that's what all the religious books are about. And I think that's why they want to go collect up all the damn Christians now and take the keys and lock them up, because they are not preaching it the way it was meant to be preached. They have no idea what that book actually is saying. They think it's some unseeable, unknowable God they're reading about. That's only because you don't know that the government is the God that it's speaking about. It's like I was telling my husband while I was watching your video. The Lord giveth you a supplemental check, and then a new God comes in, and the Lord taketh away, and then some. Because Biden regime has taken away everything Trump gave us, and then some.
I remember Bro Sanchez. I used to watch him. He said when people find money on the ground, they say, look what God did. He looked out for me." And then Bro said, "Well, what about the guy who dropped it? What did God do to him?"
What about the guy who lost the money? How bad did he need it?
Yeah, right.
How did it get lost? You know, I can see money getting lost because somebody got their ass whooped. Did they even deserve to get their ass whooped? We don't know. All we know is we found that money laying in the street, so we picked it up and we spent it because we too needed it. But that's not God. You know, I used to can play that game too because we were taught it. But see, where I'm at now is if I wasn't born already knowing it, I don't need to fucking know it. And when I was first born, until people started talking about God and Jesus and all this religious crap, I didn't know any of that. And I didn't need to know any of that. Because the way they were teaching it was a damn lie. I mean, the Bible says listen to God and listen to government. Well, wait the fuck a minute. You can't listen to both the way that the Bible is taught. You can't do what God says, which is allegedly the opposite of what government tells you to do, and listen to the government too. So they must be the same motherfuckers. Because why else would a so-called religious book tell you to listen to your government? And then what keeps echoing in my head after that is Biden saying, "We're losing patience with you unvaccinated fuckers." I'm paraphrasing, of course. Lose your goddamn patience, bitch, because I'm losing patience with your motherfucking ass trying to force shit on me. Well, why would you be losing patience with me unless you're the God of the fucking Bible at this point in time? And you're part of the Anunnaki fucking crowd that wants to fuck with our DNA some more. And because we dare say no, oh, you want to get all shitty with us and lock us up. So I don't know how they think they're going to come get my ass. They're not going to come get my ass because I'm a fucking Christian. They're not going to come get my ass because I'm a Democrat or a fucking Republican. Because I ain't none of that fucking shit. I don't even say that I'm a fucking atheist. I don't know what the fuck I am, but what I ain't is a label of any kind.
What's going on here?
Ain't nobody going to label me. And so then what comes to mind is I just am. I am who I am. And that's who I am. And that's it. Yep, I ain't playing this fucking shit anymore. And I need to get a hold of Jeff Daughtry. And I got some shit I need to tell him. I need to get him all caught up on the way I'm seeing the Bible now.
Oh, Mark said I found $20 on the side of the road.
God, it's been years since I found money in the street besides just change. Back in the day, you used to find it all the time. Dollar bills, 5s, 10s, 20s. Everybody's holding on to it a little tighter now these days. So it's hard to find it in the streets anymore. I did find a ring that's probably worth at least $100. But I'd have to take it into a jewelry store to get the money for it. But yeah, this whole America, what you were reading, this glorified America. It either already was and will never be again, or it's never going to be. Not with the way this world is doing its new, well, technically original plan, one world order, new world order crap. Nothing will ever, if they accomplish that to its fullest, they're never going to let us out of that. And it's always going to be the worst kind of hell imaginable.
You're gonna have to come get Chuck.
They want us all in FEMA camps while they enjoy nature. You know, if you're not watching, if you have Apple TV, and if you don't have Apple TV, but you have an Apple phone, I highly advise either getting it or going to someone's house who has it and go watch the new TV series Silo. And it's not even really a series. It's only like 10 episodes total. I'm halfway through it now. But it's about a whole community of people. Like 10,000 people live in this massive silo. And they have computer screens, or at least one, that leads to supposedly looking outside.
Peace, Marcel.
And what it's showing on the screen is not what's really out there. It turns out it's actually a computer screen that's lying to them and telling them, look, it's dead outside. There's nothing, there's no reason to want to go out there. But they're finding out, they're digging deep, some of them, and they're finding out that it's perfectly fine outside. And that's where all the rich people are, out there, while we're imprisoned in this silo. And they're lying to us. And that's basically what they want to do to us.
You're going outside the ice wall. That's the silo. This is the silo, this whole
This is the silo. Right. Right. And they're outside the silo, the ice wall. And they're seeing even more beautiful surroundings than even they're letting us see here.
Yeah, this place is a dump.
Mm-hmm.
They turned it into a landfill.
They turned it into a damn landfill. Hey, Bex. No. I said that right? Bex?
Yeah. Hi, Paula.
Hey.
Hi, Charles.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Well, I think I've made it perfectly known how I'm doing. I don't think anyone can misunderstand if anybody was here. I don't bite my tongue.
I know. Nope. I love
that.
Yep. We were just Voy and I were just saying goodbye when you came back on Charles. I really appreciate you letting us hang out in your room. I hope that was okay to stay on so long.
That's why I said.
Yeah. It was fun.
I thought you guys were gone.
No, it was perfect.
It took way too long. My charge. It took long.
No, it's good though, because then yeah. It's perfect though for your reading that you'd start a new stream anyway, because then people can start and listen to the reading if they want to hang and reread the chat while we have our panel. That's great, but I like your format to your shows is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I hadn't seen Roy in a while. I was starting to worry, and then he finally showed back up this past week, and I was like, "Oh, thank goodness."
Yeah, he goes live, I think. At one point.
Well, I'm not subscribed to his channel, and YouTube wouldn't let me find him. I think I was subscribed, but they like to unsubscribe me from people. They don't want me talking to anybody.
I want to know where Lucid's at.
Yeah, where in the fuck is he?
I don't know. He ain't picking the phone up. He ain't returning my calls.
No.
I haven't
where does he live?
In 2 weeks. Colorado. I'm supposed to be going there in August.
He lives in Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's getting kind of ugly in Colorado.
Kimba says he's still not answering his phone. She tried him again.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Man.
I've been trying to call him.
To survive what he survived and then for somebody to just come and erase him anyway, that's going to piss me off. Because that's already happened to one of my friends. Jerry Runk, he overcame cancer and then he turned around and died of a drug overdose because somebody fentanyled his ass. They were celebrating. They were celebrating the fact that he beat cancer's ass and he fucking died. They better not do that to me again because I'm going to roar. I swear.
When they were partying, he said, "You beat cancer. Let's see if you could beat fentanyl."
Right? He couldn't beat fentanyl. Nobody can beat
You would think
fentanyl.
so. Yeah.
I heard an interesting perspective.
Like Michael Jackson. People look like the Thriller video. You know what that is, right?
Zombies?
Yeah.
Like really skinny
Michael
zombies?
Jackson Thriller. I've never seen. I thought heroin was bad. This stuff's way worse.
Oh, the zombie stuff where they pass out standing up on their legs.
Yeah.
My husband just showed me a video last night. Dude rolling around the sewer.
They should walk
on purpose.
Putting a fentanyl person on a tightrope.
Well, and when you talk to someone who's like, when you talk to someone who's OD'd a few times, or and they're telling you about that, I just had someone give me a new perspective on that. That actually, that's the high, right? That's the next level high that fentanyl induces beyond the drug itself. Is like you actually could potentially get addicted to walking that line between life and death. Coming back with the Narcan. Yeah. I'm not saying that people deliberately are staying on it to die again, but I am saying that there may be a chemical reaction in the brain that actually reinforces the actions. It's just simply by the fact that you OD'd, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Now is no time to be hopped up on any kind of freaking actual drugs. In fact, more people need to smoke some weed and calm the fuck down.
But I would say that if there's, I agree, I totally agree. But I would say if there's a positive side to if there's a portal, and let's just say a tear in the fabric of our realm that has these lower dimension entities or whatever using electronics and using drugs and using all this stuff to obtain access to our bodies, then some of the most open-minded people, some of the strongest warriors we have are some of the people, whether they're still using or not using, that can stand on the edge between those two worlds and not lose their mind and not go down that path. I'm not saying you get lost. I'm just saying you end up interacting with a different aspect of the world that, you know, everyone's like, I'm going to take a trip. I'm going to go do a little, you know, ayahuasca adventure on the weekend, you know, like just thinking they can dip into a DMT experience or a biochemical aspect of our mentalities we don't understand. So I think that a lot of them are actually doing a lot of work for the collective in maybe keeping some of these monsters at bay, if not allowing those monsters to inhabit them so they don't hurt us, you know? So.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I'm with you though, Paula, that I would prefer them not, they don't have to do that. If they all switch to weed, you know, and I'm sure I'm sure that the carrot dangling is what's causing them to be in that position as a warrior right now. Like that, you know, that desire to escape, and not feel and all that jazz. But, you know, that's just where I like to go with the no leaf falls randomly philosophy of like, everybody's life has meaning, and even no matter what they're doing right now, it's we're all going somewhere together, and hopefully we're leaving a bunch of shitty ass motherfucking infestation people behind, or we're going to kick them out, or whatever, however it works, like,
Yeah.
That's why I said drugs and guns are my two best friends. One numbs the pain and the other can make it end.
Ugh.
It's heavy, but true.
Yeah, but nobody, the reason people get on drugs is because they don't get to actually live. This world doesn't let you actually live. They want to impose on you their idea of what life is.
Right.
Yeah, survival being sold as thriving, right? Barely
Yes.
survive being sold as thriving in the world. I know in one of my mental mantras in my worst depressions was like, I want to be an active participant in my own life. Like I felt like I'd just been going through the motions and being a good girl and being a woke girl and being a head of the game, appreciated, inclusive person and all this fucking shit, and still not achieving like the family or the relationship, and still fighting with people and still blah, 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 but I can't remember where I was going with that, but that, basically, I'm lucky that I've tried a handful of drugs a handful of times. I can see the draw to them. I'm such a compulsive weed smoker and tobacco smoker, and I'm not that motivated to be successful that I couldn't afford anything else. And I knew that I would just be adding to something already. So if I really liked something, I just was like, oh, well, that was really nice. But, and I take great pride in being able to sit in rooms with people who do things I don't do and not be judged for not doing them, and me not judging them for doing them, but that this, there's a level of escapism that happens before we even learn to live that I hear you're saying, it's like, it's so sad, there's so much trauma.
Well,
before we're even
escape for so long.
What?
You only escape for so long. The problems are waiting for
Yeah.
you.
Right. You got to eventually see reality again. And then what is it? It's shit. And they don't want to see it. So they disappear into the drugs. But
not only are the problems waiting for you, you're withdrawing. So now it's tenfold.
Yep. Now it's tenfold. Right. More biblical speak. Exactly. And of course, the suffering is what's tenfold, not the blessings. That never happened. But looking back, I now know why I grew up depressed. Because I knew I was not getting to live. I was always having to live underneath someone else's tyrannical rule. And it was so depressing. I was sad all the time. Crying all the time. That's no way to live. That's not even living. That's barely existing. I will have life more abundantly, and so will others that deserve it, if and when it's the last thing I ever do. If I have anything to say or do about it, I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
Once I leave this body, and I will be all powerful once I leave this body.
Oh, I'm with you, but I ain't leaving this body behind. My Abby's coming with me.
Well, once we leave the body, they can't exactly stop spirit unless they suck you into their white hole again.
I'm taking it with me. They can keep a copy behind, but I'm taking it with me. I'm not doing no spiritual dip into incarnation to go back to spirit bullshit either. I want, this body's mine and all powerful, and I'm keeping it, and they can't have it and they can't control it. And if they want to keep a copy of it behind in my death, then I'll make sure whatever it is fucking useless to them.
Yeah, they cannot have my copy. No, they cannot have me and copy it. No.
I mean, yeah, I sovereignly take hold of this body as my own, and I will own it and keep it way beyond any fucking time that they've told me it's my right to have it. It's mine. Right. And I made people like,
enough here. And yeah.
Well, yeah. And I'm just saying, I will continue to smoke in it if I want to. Okay. I will bless that smoking fucking body, and I will thank it for doing what it does. Even as a smoker, I'm not going to take everything as lies. Everything is lies. Do you know there's a neurotransmitter in our brain called nicotinic acid?
Yep. And just like there are cannabinoids as well.
Exactly.
Yep.
So vitamin B3, niacin, niacinamide, nicotinic acid, all the same fucking stuff. So we're not supposed to burn it in our lungs at 400 degrees, 500, 600 degrees without something long to cool it, right? It's the carcinogen effects of burning things, right? That has it be cancerous.
Right.
You know, and sure, anything in maybe we're over consuming, but I don't know. I think you have a brilliant mind, Paula. You know, maybe you could drink more water with your cigarettes. I'm only saying that, or take some vitamin C might help your headaches. I'm not being facetious with that either. I'm saying smoking can amplify our headaches. I
need a new spine.
Yeah.
I was born with what do they call that when you have a curved spine?
Scoliosis.
I have scoliosis, and
it pinches and gravity and pinches as you get older, like everyone's body.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it ended up with a pinched nerve yesterday, and it just immediately just hit me with a migraine. But you know, thank goodness it didn't last long. It came and it went.
Yeah.
So I had it for a few hours, though. It sucked. But no, it's from my spine. It's not from anything that I intake. It was from a pinched nerve for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I drink water. I try to drink the cleanest water I can buy because I can't trust it out of my faucet. I at least trust the store water a little bit more. It all has poisons in it. You can't escape that. I drink toilet water, he says. Ha ha. Just make sure your tank is clean. But
you ever have an animal that drinks out of the toilet, like a dog?
I also like to drink. Yeah, dogs drink out of the toilet too because it's fresher water. But I also do like to drink too, and since I know they're going to kill us soon, right now I am just into doing whatever the fuck I want, eating whatever I want, drinking whatever I want, because tomorrow I'll be dead whenever that comes, because they don't want us here. They hate it when we wake up.
And peanut butter cup ice cream.
What was the first part of that?
What was before peanut butter cup ice cream?
Oh, you said you eat anything, and I could relate. I mean, I don't eat meat as much anymore, but I eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch for some reason.
Yum, that's my favorite cereal. It's my favorite cereal. I can't buy cereal, or I'll just eat the whole box in a night.
Family size.
Yeah,
I just got me a box of Poisonous Tricks. They came out with minis.
Yummy.
Finally.
I think all that cereal is poison.
Mini Tricks, but everything's poisoned. It's all poison. It's all poison. You know, these people, they just make me laugh now.
Poor children.
You gotta stop eating this. You gotta stop eating that. It's all poisoned. Even if they claim it's organic, it's still poisoned.
Yeah, pesticides. Unless you got a local farm, then you might be good.
Well, they still gotta do shit to keep the pests off.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go. We have an orchard up here, near a reservoir. It's called Rogers Orchard, and I'm gonna see if they got real apples still. Cause every time I went up there, the apple trees are dead. They look like nothing grows anymore, and there's fields of them. So I don't know what's going on.
Interesting. I wonder if they need pollination.
Yeah,
I know they've got whatever hermaphroditic apple trees now, but they used to have to. I grew up on an orchard where my dad had to bring the bees in to pollinate the apples, or else no apples would grow.
Oh, wow. I bet you them apples are real good.
Yeah.
Man, I miss the old days. I never thought I'd say that. When food was real, when there was homemade family restaurants everywhere. Now it's all corporation processed garbage.
Yeah, that's why but maybe that's why we have these, you know, I'm sure even the next generation behind us, I hope they have happy memories of their childhood, even if they didn't exist with us in earlier times, you know. But maybe what we have to offer the next generation as that cusping generation between no technology and lots of technology is that rather than seeing that nostalgic feeling like we could never have it back, that's why it feels so sad, you know. And then people have told me my whole life, right, when I'm like, I love the 70s, they're like, of course you did, you were a child, right, you know. But it's still, no, I remember how everybody related. I remember a good time where all my mom's and dad's friends were called auntie and uncle, all of them, you know. And that being said, to take that nostalgia and to have full faith that in our lifetime we can recreate that, right? We may not know how yet, and we may feel overwhelmed with the information of the enemy, but they will not defeat us. You know, this is not a hell realm.
We're going to take our Earth back.
Yeah, they made it this. You know? So we have every right to feel down, and we have
People
every
got a
right
million
to take
excuses.
I just wanted to say we have every right to feel upset and mad and get depressed about it. What we've learned about what's going on in this world is literally the worst horror story, sci-fi movie, every fucking fantasy movie ever fucking written. And we don't even know probably 1/1000th of the truth. Right?
Oh, well, there's probably a lot more going on that we don't know about.
Exactly.
But
So that's why,
absolutely, to me, it's absolutely a hell realm. Otherwise, all that shit wouldn't be happening.
yeah, I say they brought hell here to our realm.
Yeah, and they did. What they did was they brought hell and stomped it all over our paradise and shat all over it.
I'm happy to see. In some ways, I'm happy to see who's on what side, though, right? So, you know, I really feel like it's a gift to stop believing everybody's born like me, right? That everybody has a kind spirit like me. Oh, they've just been brainwashed. I've been brainwashed too, but I never took all the bait, you know.
Right.
Like, so part of it is to make us open our eyes and be like my brother, right? You know, like just like look straight across the table at one of these people and understand that they can wear your face and they're not you. And you can have hope. You can still be like, oh, I really hope that little thread of me and my brother, you know, comes out. Not that I'm trying to be like I'm better than. I'm just saying I'm different, right? In that realm, those people building that hell realm, you know, this is paradise to them.
I have a new theory. Because of all of the parasites that they never told us that we had. You know, you get a cat, you get a dog. What's the first thing you do? You go get them dewormed. They never told us, hey, you needed to be dewormed when you were little too, and you needed to be kept dewormed throughout your entire frigging life. Well, if a thing, because life finds a way, if a thing sticks around long enough, it's going to eventually take over. And so I am now looking at the world governments as they are not spiritual. That's one thing spirituality comes in handy for, because you come across you need to get rid of your parasites, you know. But these motherfuckers are not getting rid of their parasites. And so I think the world is really being run by damn parasites.
I think I'm with you 100% on that, but those fuckers know exactly. Most of them, the ones at the top, they willingly engage in feeding that parasite. That parasite, I don't even care if they've made. I don't care if they've made deals where the parasite has given them a Lamborghini. You know, I'm just saying I couldn't take a Lamborghini from a parasite to do what those people have done.
Right.
You know, so I think they're more in touch with spirit than you or I on the physical level, and it's just the wrong fucking spirit.
This fucking place is worthless.
When
I think about my past, I know I'll never see my family again. A lot of my friends, they all died way too young.
Yeah.
All because of this shithole.
Yeah.
But what if, that's the part of those stories that we're supposed to hold on to and understand that you're not from a worm, right? That you're not from an ape, and that you're not going back to worm nonsense, even if you fucking do die and leave a body behind. And that those people, right? Those people that went ahead of you, who I actually think, are still here, literally, physically. Unfortunately, if we're trapped here, we're trapped here, right? If that's the case. But that being said, I really believe that you will see those people again, and you will see them in physical form, and you will hug them. And I'm not talking about you have to die to see it. I'm just saying, in my future that we could build together, that we understand that the reason you suffer the loss of those people and feel this shitty place without them will only have you unify with them and build an even better universe than we could imagine, because you lived without them for that long.
Some people are gone that I don't ever want to see again. So, but
well, it's a big enough universe that even if they were good and they were there, that you wouldn't have to see them if you don't want to see them, right? On the flip side, some people ain't going to be there, right? That's the whole reason we're in this hell realm. Who will sell out? Who will sell out, and how low will you stoop?
How low will you go?
Yeah. And then they give us all these definitions. So people like, oh, they sinned, they sold their body. Oh, they killed themselves intentionally. Oh, they overdosed. All these things where people could sit in judgment and say, oh, well, they're not going to be there because they did something wrong. No, fuck that. And fuck that.
Right? Ultra mind control. Most of them are mind controlled.
Exactly. And all the more reason why, of course they'd be there. You know? So
if you're mind controlled, then the thing that you hated about them is not them at all, but the disease that took them over by technology.
Exactly.
Yeah. I hated my mother, but I loved my mother. And, when she was not being cruel, I'd like to meet her again. I'm correcting myself from what I said before moments ago, because she was in that list. But I think she was, now that I'm thinking about it, she was being mind controlled. She read book, Mom Kills Kids Himself, and then started threatening it on us. Well, that book indoctrinated and MK Ultra'd her ass.
Yeah. I do think we're that suggestible. I appreciate you using that as an example.
Yes.
I don't think the idea of suicide would ever come to a human on their own.
Right.
And I think it was suggested. And I think that they love to make us be more and more inclusive of suicidal ideation, like it's a lifelong problem that you can have. I'm saying if you feel suicidal, there's things that I don't have the answers, but I'm just saying I think psychiatrists have a way of keeping you running on a hamster wheel that's not going to help.
Mm-hmm.
With what the helping model they have to offer. So, I think it's I know for me, I've spent decades in a place where I just want to go home, and I know home is not here. I want to, I've thought about not being here. I've definitely thought, and when I was that low, I thought about not being here. But I could never take that next level of thinking personally, right? Like I can hardly even take the idea of harming someone else, let alone myself, that way, on an instant secure, like I can't even mentally think of it. So in some ways, I think it's a blessing, that I feel so convinced that that's something I couldn't do to myself, but it doesn't mean that I haven't felt as depressed as I know my friends have expressed to me who do ponder that,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, no judgment in people. I do believe that they send out frequencies though, and they fill our heads full of information, and that one day they can amplify that frequency and somebody might flip a switch, and then we might be like, oh my gosh, look what they just did to themselves. Meanwhile, it was all MK Ultra from the outset.
Yes.
I believe all suicides, honestly, all suicides, all overdoses, all of those things to be actually acts of murder by the machine, by the people wielding those weapons.
Yes, they were suicided. Suicided.
Exactly.
Because who would want to end their damn life?
Yeah.
If they actually had a fucking life, they wouldn't. They never left a note. That's all we hear anymore these days. There was no sign, no note, no nothing. And yet they supposedly killed themselves. And then a few months or years later, they're still investigating and they're finding out, oh shit, they didn't kill themselves. They were suicided.
Yep. And I don't even mean any. I know a friend recently told me a story about a friend of his, a brother, like a friend of his brother who committed suicide. He had sickle cell anemia. He'd lived with a lot of pain. I didn't realize, but geography.
You wanna kill yourself.
Yeah, but geography can really affect people with sickle cell anemia. There's some sort of I didn't know this, but there's a different barometric pressure at different levels from sea level that can really affect whether that's going to make your quality of life really negative or not. That being said, he sliced his own neck. Right? He sliced his own neck in a kitchen. Like he just went in, they were watching TV, went in, sliced his neck. Now, I've tried to push a needle into my cat's abscessed skin. Okay. And my cats have detached skin. They have like no, they're missing a layer of attachment that we have in our dermis. And I just tried to put I disinfected it, but I tried to put a pin in my cat's skin. And it was like it felt like elephant leather. And then later I had an old cat that needed medicine and I used a sharp. I had to use a sharp to give him saline injections and I couldn't believe how easy it was to pierce his skin. So when I think about going into a kitchen to grab a knife to cut your neck, right? And that I'm almost willing to even believe that kind of action, they even have the ability to morph someone into that room, teleport someone in, slice the neck, teleport them out as fast as the person couldn't see someone in the room. Like all ninja style.
Picture doing that when I had Behçet syndrome disease really bad from age 18 to 33 many times. It occurred to me to get a really sharp knife and just end this shit show because the meds they were putting me on was not doing the trick. But that ended up, thank goodness, not being the answer. Because all I needed to do was, through all that struggle and all that suffering, was I just needed to rewrite my code. I had to heal myself. I had to know that I have the ability to heal myself. And I did. And thank goodness I didn't go the other route, because I'd have done it right. Oh yes, I'd have done it right. Because I was not only, sick and in pain and being tortured, I was angry and I was going to put it all into that motion. Oh no, she dropped out. Yep, but thank goodness I never even got that far. I decided I was going to heal myself. I had to. TV preachers sure as fuck weren't doing it. Nobody godly was doing it, so it was going to have to be me. And so I did. I just realized that I was living a lie. The sickness was the lie that they were perpetrating on me. And I had to realize that I was actually healed and not sick. And that did work wonders. I rewrote my program at that time. Yeah, I was reading the Bible at the time, and there are a few good things in it. One of them was, you are your own physician, heal yourself. So I did. Please tell me you're still there, Chuck, because she bounced out for some reason. She don't usually have bad connection. She usually has pretty good connection. Can't believe she just dropped out. I'm thirsty. It is hot over here. It's like in the 90s. Oh, let me go, let's see, what does chat say? Chuck, you're going to have to come back and let her back in. She meant to mute. And she ended up clicking leave. She's backstage. Chuck! Let's see. What's in comments over here? Get over there. Oh, it's okay, Bex. Oh, you said it out there in live chat too. Let's see. I don't know how you say that name. Is that Marcel? Hello? Yeah. You do have the power to heal yourself. I may not be able to heal my damn spine, because God knows I've tried. But I was able to heal my immune system, because Behçet syndrome disease is an immune deficiency disorder. Like most diseases in this world, they're constantly attacking our immune systems. Turns out cancer is an immune deficiency disorder. Diabetes. They don't tell you, oh, and they're all associated with parasites. Let's see. Yeah, people should learn how to use their hearts and their brains again. Absolutely, Marcel. I hope I'm saying that right. I definitely ain't even going to try to say that last name. I don't think I could. Sorry. Starts with a P, ends with an R. Let's see. Yeah. Right now, eat what you want, because tomorrow you'll be dead. They're going to find a way to take us out because we're trying to evolve and descend. How dare us? Enjoy what little bit of life you have left as best you can. Oh, Chuck, please don't tell me that you're technically bounced out of here. Yeah, Chuck, come back. What happened? Your box is still there. Says you're still here with me. Me and Bex could be talking while you're off cooking or whatever. Come back. I wish, and I don't know if you can do this if you were paying for StreamYard, but it would be nice if, even while it's free, if at least one person could, whoever is left in here with the person whose video it is, like me, I'm here with Chuck, and Chuck is Poof. So whoever's left in here should be able to let other people in while they're away. So since this is their program, I know they heard me say that just now, because ain't nothing we say is private. So hopefully they'll consider that, because I don't know that any other program has that ability, and that would stand them out amongst the rest, better. Because I could just let Bex in right now. And then her and I could talk while he's gone. Oh, yawn. Beep. You're so cute, Miss Sissy. You're so cute. My kitty doesn't like it when I don't talk to her and I'm talking to a tablet. She's like, hey, beep me.
My bad, I'm coming.
Took you long
My
enough.
fault. I had to run to the store to get the
You had to what?
went to the corner store.
Oh. Well, that was a bad timing because she kicked herself out of here and I couldn't let her back in.
Hi. It's so funny. Smokers coughed and I was just about to hit the mic so I don't cough. And then I coughed and it slipped down to the leave button.
Aww.
Hi, Charles.
Uh-huh.
My fault. How long were you back there?
About
I don't
5
know,
minutes.
maybe under 10 minutes, I think. Maybe 10 minutes tops.
I bet you what happened as soon as I left.
Probably.
I did take the time. I took the time to toast a bagel, though.
Right.
Yeah,
Got cream cheese on that bagel?
A cream cheese of sorts. I don't want to say it here because I will say it here. I'm just going to be joking about my affection for American Brie. Okay, so I already told people don't shit talk fake cheese to me because don't judge my cheese whiz. Okay, I'm having cheese whiz. It's a form of cream cheese, and I'm having cheese whiz on one side and peanut butter on the other. But if it makes people feel any better, I do have both types of peanut butter. I have Kraft Smooth and Sugary, or I have New World Organics organic peanut butter. I'm going to go with the organic on the other side today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's creative. I never thought of that before.
Yeah, I did peanut butter and cream
cheese
with butter. Never thought of it.
It's delicious.
I bet it is. Sounds good. Last can of cheese whiz I got was very disappointing, though. It was super salty. Pissed me off.
Love that stuff.
Like, who in the fuck made this batch of bullshit? Wasn't good for nothing. Got high blood pressure. I gotta watch, somewhatly what I eat. I don't want to have a stroke and then really be trapped inside of this body.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Ugh.
I'm going to go see what bioengineered. If it's bioengineered, if it's byproducts of petroleum, I'm going to go see what my cheese whiz says is in it.
You don't want to know.
Doesn't look too bad. Modified milk ingredients, water, cheese, which is milk, modified milk ingredients, salt, bacterial culture, microbial enzyme, calcium chloride, lipase, and Then there's canola oil, corn maltodextrin, sodium phosphate, salt, lactic acid, modified cornstarch, sodium alginate, seasoning, contains celery, sorbic acid, ground mustard, annatto, paprika. Oh, yep. It all looks good to me.
My cereal says it, Mark.
To me.
My cereal says that, Mark. Bioengineered ingredients.
Oh,
interesting.
mine probably does too. Let me look.
Do we live in a bioengineered shithole? That's why.
Yeah.
And until we can do something about it, ain't nothing gonna fucking change. This makes me sick when people keep voting and all this shit. I'm gonna go live in the woods. Away from all this shit. When someone tries to come kick me out the woods, I'll turn it into the 4th of July. It'll be like Vietnam. See, where's Mark? You heard the cat, Mark.
I hear kids.
Yeah,
They're not
it's
mine.
outside. There's some lady, she's outside, right? I was coming back from the store. And there's a little kid out there. And she's like, my mama taught me how to sell this. And she's pointing to her stuff and pulling her dress up. And I'm
Oh,
like,
hell
what the
no.
fuck?
What?
All I know how to do is sell this and drugs. I'm like, I'm walking by like, there's a little boy here. You fucking, people don't
Yeah.
think, man. I mind my business, though. I don't ever say no. It's none of my business. But
Yeah.
Who was she saying it to?
Probably the children
some lady, they were talking.
of some woman in front of children. It's no holds barred in this fucking world now. You can say whatever you want, whenever you want, as long as it doesn't offend somebody. But I mean, how can that even be a thing? Something's going to offend somebody. Can't we all just fucking get over it?
I don't know. You're pretty you guys. I was just going to be joking and be like, you're pretty offended about them taking over our realm.
I am pretty offended with them taking over our realm. I think we have a right for that.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, we have a right.
Though.
They put their hell all over our heaven. That's about, you know.
Exactly. Charles, Mark wants to see the cat. I'm just joking, but he says Mark is accusing you of making fake cat noises now.
What, Mark? What? You goofy. Fake cat noises. Hilarious.
He needs proof. He wants to see the cat.
Come here, Puma.
Come here, Pumbaa. Pumbaa-ness. I have a princess and a sissy girl. Aww. Pumbaa kind of looks like my princess.
I can't really tip my bit because she's right here on the floor in front of me, and my cat thinks the world revolves around her, and I tell her that there's like buses have pictures of her all over it, so if I tell you about her, then she won't think that you already know about her. So just play along, and that's why I'm not talking about my cat.
Well, the world does revolve around our kitties, don't it? The princess will come and she'll go to the food bowl and she wants to eat, but she'll look at you like, I need you to pet me while I eat. You're taking too long to come pet me while I eat. And then as soon as you start petting her, she starts eating and purring. We definitely named her properly as a kitten, Princess. She acts like royalty.
Maybe we're supposed to take a page from our cat's books.
What time is it? We've been doing this 2 hours. I'm going to jump off in like 15 minutes.
I think I'm going to have to jump off here sooner. I might need to go take a nap.
Why, you tired? It's only 5:41. Yeah, this round can't be as big as it is because when it's 12 midnight here in Connecticut, it's already about to be morning time in London, which is right over this ocean. The sun ain't that high. Yeah, I don't think this realm's as big as they claim it is.
Yeah.
The known realm, the part that they share with us, I agree.
Yeah.
Because I put a picture of all the airplane flights and all the boat stuff, and they never go anywhere near the ice wall. Nowhere near it. Nothing does. So we don't even know if that it's an ice wall all the way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. they say they're taking you to Antarctica, but and then like I said about Africa, the entire Africa is desert and it's hot. How the hell does Africa go down to near Antarctica? It don't make sense. It don't snow in South Africa. It's desert. Peace, Dean.
Peace.
Well, Dean's here. We know Dean's here. We know tomorrow exists.
Huh? It's still the same. I don't know. Like, this whole time thing's man-made.
It is.
We're all in the same day. We're all in the present time. I mean, all in the same time. It's all present.
Yep. It's always
Nobody's
now.
ahead of nobody.
Yeah. Nope. They only created time for slavery.
Coconut soda's banging at Coco Rico. You know why I said that thing about refugees? Because one of my friends, he's from the Dominican island. You know, he knows a good amount of English. You know, but we've been friends for about 6 years. And he comes from the island. And I was talking to him one day about tyranny in the government. I said I lived here my whole life and the police. But he supports the police and the government. He's like, this is the best country in the world. He's like, go live in the Dominican island. They don't have no programs to help you or this and that. Yeah, you know, as long as people support this fucking government, we need to wipe it all out, fire everybody, and put people in there that would do their fucking job right. You know, why do we allow these people that put us in so-called debt, if that's even true? Like, how the fuck are we $60-some trillion in debt?
Right. The whole
people
system
just
was
let it
set
go
up
and
as a
ignore it.
system.
Yeah.
That's what you do to slaves. You set up a debt system.
That's how are we free if we're slaves?
Right.
You know, people think we're free. If we're free and we were really the power, when we would say something, they would be fired. But unfortunately, I personally don't think we're the power. But I really want to give it a try.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind giving it a try,
so
being a leader. I'm a natural born leader in my birth chart.
Get everyone together and go try to the Supreme Court and bring the Constitution and the original law, and you know, tell them they're all fired. And then when it don't work, I'm like, I told you it was bullshit.
Well, if everyone could just learn how to be self-governed, we wouldn't need government at all. And the fact that people couldn't self-govern to the point government had to come in and do it for us is how we got in this whole predicament in the first place.
Right. Welfare and
yeah,
all types of shit was a setup. It got people comfortable.
Yes.
That was the whole point of it. Let's get them comfortable. Let's give them just enough to help them get by. Even though with our straw man, they're making millions of dollars off of each SSI, a Social Security card.
Yeah.
So
apparently we were all given some kind of trust when we were born, but they never gave it to us. They kept it. And the whole debt ceiling thing is bullshit. You know, America was supposed to be the land of prosperity, but they took that away from us by putting this
they tell you what you want to hear.
They put this damn debt ceiling up, and now, you know, there's supposed to be plenty of money for everybody. But they refused to do it. So they put this debt ceiling up, made matters even worse.
Mark said he saw that Target lost 10 billion in 10 days. That's laughable. That's laughable. Like, I'm just saying, it's fucking so much bullshit in that statement, right? Like 10 billion in 10 days. Like, these stupid fucking banker games, like, it's retarded. They
no way.
Yeah, they're just making up numbers and then writing them off, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, they had that Pride Day. They banked crazy money. They got little children's shirts that say queer, queer, queer. Adam Calhoun did a video and he showed a little kid shirt that said queer, 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 and I'm like, shh.
Right.
Well, and if they're losing 10 billion in 10 days, if the $10 billion loss in 10 days has to do with awake people seeing that, right, and not going to Target, good for them, right? Like, I'm just saying, if it's true, and that's all true, then I see it as a bonus to us, knowing there's a lot of people out there think like us, like, you know.
Yeah.
A lot more.
I think it's all a lie.
I think so too.
No,
they don't lose any.
They don't need us anymore. So they're one by one creating events and saying, well, this is why this store has gone under. This is why that store has gone under. But what it is they have the technology. They don't need us anymore. They've been trying to get rid of us our whole lives, but especially the past 3 years. And they don't need us anymore. So one by one, we're going to watch all these stores close. Just like one by one, we've watched all the food factories burn down and all the trains get derailed. And all the farms get attacked.
And what did we do? Nothing. We just sat back. We all look at each other and wait for someone to make a move.
Yeah. TikTok would really piss you off because it's a bunch of gunslinging, mouth running motherfuckers claiming they're ready to go, but yet nothing's happening. They're just talking like those who are unarmed are doing. Bitch, I can only talk because I can't do anything. All I can do is defend myself.
They're doing that to get us to jump. That's why they're doing it. They want people to jump.
Probably,
so then they
yes.
could arrest people. They're probably agents, FBI.
Yeah, trying to
ATF.
get everybody pushed over the damn edge so they can impose their martial law on us.
Just
you know,
like
they
put their guns in the video, the children.
These fuckers are. How are they doing that? They were saying there was some governor or something, and he was bitching about how in their city or town or whatever, they needed to be able to have places to shop for their food and their clothes and everything they need for, their cars and everything. And everything needs to be in this area. And everybody was like, yeah, rah, rah, rah. Motherfuckers, I see the beginnings of a 15-minute city going on right there.
Like they burned a police station down?
Yeah.
I think that was bullshit. When in history would they allow that? Come on. If I did that in New Britain, they would have shot us down. That's bullshit. I think that was like crisis actors or something.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't, and the cops will leave their cop cars there. Like, what state was that and city where they left the cop cars and they said we left them there for people to let their anger out?
Yeah, right. Sure they did. Uh-huh.
Police station in my city has underground parking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, this government sucks.
Yep. It'd be great if they'd actually do their job.
Country look weak.
Clearly they're not going to do.
I don't get two things that really irk me. When people say they fought for our freedom in these wars, it's laughable. And
They didn't know they weren't. They thought they were.
when
It's
that
what
event
memorial
happened,
and labor
I
they
knew
are.
right away. Something. A lot of people just want to be gun-toting murderers, and
Yeah, there's
people
that
are
too.
so quick to react and not think. When that event happened and I was watching it in that September, I knew something wasn't right then and there, and I was already questioning it. So, you know how many
Yeah,
soldiers went AWOL because they realized that after a million Iraqis died, they realized, oops, something isn't right here.
yeah, yeah. Ugh, this world just wears me out lately. It's probably because I'm, about to be
I'm the
55.
same way, Marcel. That's young. You're 55 years young. Marcel, I got a bike too only.
But I feel like I've been here twice as long.
I feel like I lived two different lives. The first 20 years was with my family and my mom, and then the next 20 years was a new life. Sometimes it's so weird. It feels like I never had a mother. It's been so fucking long
Mm-hmm.
since I've seen her. Uh, and my grandfather and my uncle. And I probably lost about 9 or 12 friends. The numbers are
Damn.
up there.
Yeah.
I just lost about 5 friends in the last 6 years. Overdoses, uh, car accident.
Yeah.
I just lost a friend last month. No, March, end of March. They found him dead in his bed. That's the second friend they found like that, dead in his bed. At least he died in his sleep.
Wow. Hmm. Well, a lot of
40,
people are
41
dying in
years
their
old. Man.
sleep.
Yeah,
One of those
yeah,
like
my other
died
friend's
soon.
38. 38. Was it 38? Younger than that. Hold on. My friend Jeff O'Neill was a DEA agent for a while, which I didn't agree with, but still my friend. I used to tell him, "You work for the enemy." 2017 he died, so
Yeah,
what's 2017 minus 1980? That would
definitely
be,
work for the enemy.
how young is that? 2017 minus 1980 would be
37.
Yeah,
super
so you
young.
were close. You said
Yeah,
35, I
my
think.
mother is my mother is only 41. I lived
Wow.
longer than my mother by 1 year.
Wow.
It's life, I guess.
It's not life, that's death. We'll know life when we get
Yeah,
it.
well, hard.
And I will not stop fighting until we have life more abundantly, because we were promised life more abundantly. And I'm sick of it being a lie from the pit of fucking hell. We are going to have life more abundantly if I have to create it my motherfucking self.
I
Exactly,
would
Paula.
love to avenge
Yes.
my mother's death.
Mm,
To look
I
into
think
that
that
dude's
kind of,
eyes when he's
it's very
dying.
honorable.
thank you. Yeah. I mean, seriously, I'm tired of people getting promised shit they're never fucking getting, but we definitely always get the shit. We definitely always get the bullshit.
I think
No,
that, yeah, I think that kind of vengeance that you feel is healthy. It's righteous, and
it
it
is.
represents so much more. It represents so much more than talcum powder. even if that's how it manifested, you know, even if that's like these do-gooders selling their fucking snake oil as good, you know, knowing exactly what they're doing, you know, knowing exactly, you know, there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. It's just more about the how you approach how that looks for you. You know what I mean? Like if it eats you up inside, then finding a way to create something that manifests, like some people would be like lobbying the big pharma or whatever, you know what I mean? Like working within the system. But I understand that you overstand those things so much that you know that that's not the route, right? So I think your day will come though, you know, like I think these guys are gonna, these people will be begging us, and I don't mean individually per se, but they will be begging en masse, you know, for an opportunity that they read this, they knew exactly what they were doing, you know?
Yeah.
A bunch of them anyway.
Quote, I read it. Bush's quote said that these people knew the truth. It's not exactly how he said it, but it says if we found out the truth, they would sling up a rope.
Well, there's another one. If they knew the truth, there'd be a revolution. But this is like a physical revolution. I'm talking about a spiritual one that eventually does become solid, solidified, and good for all. What has happened in this world is some evil motherfucker somewhere started that whole damn saying, if you can't beat them, join them thing. And that is exactly what has happened. And they've fallen into it, and there was all this power and money in doing so, and they hate us for not, you know, joining them. They hate us for not falling for the if you can't beat them, join them agenda. No, I want to show you something real. I want to show you something better. I feel like Neo at the end of the first Matrix movie. I want to show you a world without boundaries. I want to show you a world full of happiness.
This is George Bush Sr. that said this. If the American people knew what we have done, they would string us up from the lampposts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. We would hit you like a piñata with baseball bats.
Yeah.
And then piss in your face and light you on fire.
Like they did us back in the day. You know, I mean, cause and effect. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That stands. That's one of the few things that's good in that book. And you reap what you sow, you get what you deserve, you know. Ain't nobody escaping no damn karma. Why? Because words are power, use them wisely, and I'm speaking it. I've been calling for instant karma for at least the past 10 years, if not longer. And my husband keeps finding videos of instant karma. He just showed me one today where a younger-ish guy smacks a old guy in his face and tries to start a fight with him. And he apparently was a fighter, so the old man fucking beat him down and showed him what up. That was instant karma. And there are many other examples as well. Instant karma is going to happen. Why? Because it has to happen. If you think that you might get some instant karma, you're going to be less likely to do that stupid thing, aren't you? And it's starting to happen. So if I can speak instant karma into being, I can speak bringing our paradise back into being and doing away with hell altogether like we were promised.
I think that you have to just start doing it without ifs. I know you are already. I'm just saying, but because you said if they do this, then I will do that. Just do it and let them do what they do and you do you. and they do them. And, you know, when their infestation or their infection starts infecting the loved ones around you, you know, then of course that's when, and I know that's already happening. It's already happened, but I'm just saying, like, that's the benefit of being alone, you know, like, and being so alone. And then I've met so many like-minded, like-hearted people on the internet. I'm just like, fuck them. Fuck them all. I don't fucking care. I'm just going to live my life and do my thing and be joyful and try and figure out what we can do, you know. But giving any, I feel like giving any energy to what they say they're going to do, whatever, like, it's like all this, we were talking about refugees being rearranged around the world. Like, what if these resets, you know, that are, they've oiled that machine so well by now. That's what the wars are. All of them are all part of a reset that's constantly going on, right? All this shuffling around, all this death. What if even right down, they've done it so well, they can, you know, they have us believing in death so well, they can kill us off and take us into their hospital, and everyone here thinks they're dead, ship us out to another realm, you know, even though we didn't die, right? But they take you far enough away from where you're from, and maybe it wipes your memory itself. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't believe anything they've told us. I don't believe anything they've told us.
When you sleep in a hospital. Exactly. We don't know what happens to us when we're damn asleep.
And yeah, and I only say that because I know that I've heard everything you say. I want to build this world and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to, you know, so I don't mean to challenge you like, oh, fuck, keep your body. Just trust that it's going to be your most beautiful form. You know, and I'm not trying to force that on you. You want to go off and, you know, and see your reality your way. I'm not trying to force my perception on you. I just think you're a good builder and you've got so much to offer. Like, and you're here having all these conversations with us, Paula, you know, that I just want you to, I hear this I hear that righteous indignation of what they've done to us coming out in that anger, that righteous anger, you know what I mean? And I just want to, I want to try and bring back hope is all, you know what I mean? Which I'm sure is there, or you wouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Like,
you know?
I like this body, definitely. I don't want to be anyone else. I want to just be allowed to be me for eternity, because I think I'm a pretty good damn individual.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't want to leave this body, but if that's the only way I'm going to have power, then I'll abandon it for a minute while I take care of business.
Yeah. You know, or maybe
I'm going to shut this down in a minute.
Okay, Charles.
Food.
Yeah,
go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, go ahead, Bex.
What was I saying? Oh,
we were talking about, you know, don't abandon your body, be you.
Yeah. I was going to say, or maybe it is sort of all Max, you know, people, there's, you know, Max does remote viewing, right? Then there's people out there that says, oh, astral travel's bad because if you leave your body, something can get in it. Whereas I know that Max would be like, actually, I know how to protect you from that, right? You know what I mean? Like Max would say, I'm putting words in his mouth, but I feel like if it was unsafe, he wouldn't do it. Right. That being said, what if you do need to move away from your body for a moment to grab that part of your spirit that isn't there? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, teeter on the edge of death or whatever. But what if there is some level of, oh, oops, I died. And then boom, here's the rest of me. And boom, back down into the body. Right. Don't go towards the light. Don't go towards the dark. Go straight back down to the body. Right. And scream while you're out there. Where's the rest of me? Right? Get your fucking ass over here, you know?
Right.
Just a thought, right?
Right. So, well, they say that whenever you have sex with somebody, you're giving yourself away. So you're definitely going to want to go and recollect all of those parts of yourself that you gave away throughout your whole life.
Oh, that'd be so great if you don't have to go up to each person and be like, can I have that back?
Well, if you astral project, you could do it. If you die, you can go and do it and then come back into your body. My hope is that when they kill me, because I know they're going to try, I want to pop back to life. I want to be one of those people where they thought I was a lost cause and I just sit up and go, surprise, motherfuckers. Bet you thought you got rid of me. Nope. Ain't gonna be that easy. I mean, and I should be able to do that because 6 nurses and a cardiologist have no idea how I survived that heart attack that I shouldn't have survived. So I know I'm some kind of powerful somewhere along the way, somewhere deep down inside.
Involuntary muscle my ass. Just because
Right?
I don't know why I keep it beating. Just because I don't know why I keep it beating doesn't mean beating, or how I keep it beating, or that I don't know how to stop it doesn't mean that it's not voluntary, right?
Right.
It's, you know. But you know,
Yep.
Charles, I really appreciate again this space that you create here. You know, it is you that creates this space, and your energy and your readings and your person and your everything. And you know,
And
I
it's
really
hard.
value you being here with us, both of you. If you've ever been feeling like you shouldn't be here or don't want to be here, I'm just so grateful you are here. To know you now, you know, knowing you and this community has made my life infinitely better, and it only gets better every day because of this.
Well,
so
because of this, that's right. You know, it's like he was deleting videos, and I had to get on him last time I joined him. I was like, motherfucker, your videos are perfect because you're the one doing them. Stop deleting them, goddammit. They are perfect because you're the one doing them, because you're doing it with heart.
Yeah.
And it is perfect because it's you.
I appreciate everyone.
Yes.
Well, and I really look forward.
Yeah. You, Bex, and Paula.
You too, guys.
It's good to have people to talk to, like-minded.
Yeah, if we didn't have each other, how bad would it be for us, really?
Yeah.
We did not have each other. Oh, my God.
When that computer arrives, Charles, one thing I've been thinking of doing is getting a Zoom account, right? Like paying for Zoom. And as someone who used to be set up, I know you could pay for corporate Zoom and actually give people access to things, but I know that a friend of mine used to allow me to host Zooms for his channel, and he would set the link and then set me as host, right? So at bare minimum, if I get Zoom and people want to use it to not eat up their batteries, I think all I need to do is be there to start a stream, to open the stream, start you, assign host, and then it's your meeting. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to try and figure out how I can share my Zoom with the crowd, if that works for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try Zoom too. Zoom, I'm still use StreamYard, but Zoom too. I might, because I got 2 other channels. I got my other channel. Damn, I think it has my same name.
Yeah, but Zoom, you have to pay for be able to go live longer. You only get like an hour or some shit.
Free Thinkers Lounge. That's one of my other channels, the Free Thinkers Lounge. Fucking bike.
What's it called?
Free Thinkers Lounge.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm subbed. You got a YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm subbed to that one. We never do anything on it hardly, but I'm subbed to it. If you ever do, I'm there.
I'm gonna start putting them in the description, because I got my Instagram. I put everything in the description.
Instacrap, I hate
all my other channels, everything. It's way at the bottom though. You gotta. I always talk about what you know, I always put in the description what the video is going to be about, and all that takes time. That sucks, but I try to be professional.
I think it's great. So, Chuck, so the next one I should look at is what you said, Free Thinkers Lounge.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to put my other channels in the description. I got to do that tonight probably, because I have this thing in a notebook where I already have everything written out, all my links, and I just highlight it all, boop, hit copy, and then I paste it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So much
Smart.
Time.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Cool. Well, I'll be learning this stuff soon, because I tried yesterday, but I didn't realize I sent them a picture of my care card, not my driver's license. But I tried to validate myself so I could start doing things on YouTube, because right now I have to.
They want YouTube. They did that to me. I started a new channel. They wanted a picture of me. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's new.
Insane. Since when?
I used to have two YouTube channels, and no one ever went to the other one.
I would just, maybe I did it wrong. I just went to post a video. I was like, oh, I'll try and do this. Maybe I'll just do a testing, 1, 2, 3, right? Like, see if I know how to figure out how to do a video. And so I went to, hey, make video, and it's like, we need to verify you so you can we can walk you through a talking video, which I might just do now. They can walk me through something where I show them my face, or I could take a picture of my ID, or it said, I think if you have a built channel already, there's a way they'll let you go on that verification.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to upload a video showing yourself. That's all.
Yeah, on your own just on your YouTube.
Yeah, it says that too. That you got to upload a certain amount of videos or something showing yourself, or.
Yeah, I was confused by it. I was going to go.
That's all I do.
Well, they shouldn't be asking for your damn driver's license, because that has your fucking address on it and shit. That ain't none of their damn business. I live in a house on a street, motherfucker.
Yeah,
they don't need
that's a little. They do that because people like to put best believe they will call the popo on you. If you do anything illegal, they want to know where you live, trying to get brownie points.
But they're saying things are illegal, and they're not, like the truth.
Yeah, right. They can sit there on the news and create a story that's mostly lies. Like they'll take some so-called criminal guy, right? And the news will paint a picture of the guy and add in whatever they want and create this story. They could do it all day long. They can make stories up. But or their so-called opinion, God forbid if we want to say our opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't want to live in a world that's not free and full of joy and truth.
So that's lame, living in a world where everything's the same. What do these people think they are?
They like Groundhog Day. They like living the same shit over and over and over again because they get rich off of it. But we got to change that with our thoughts and our words. Don't just think it, speak it out loud. Especially when you're home alone and nobody can say you're crazy. Speak what you want to create into this world out loud and with passion.
The old days are better when people actually did. When it just seemed to be more free in the 80s and 90s to me.
I have a theory that the days were longer.
Yeah,
you think the days were longer?
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's part of why it was easier to work.
Is like,
yeah. And it was easier for our parents to work a 8-hour day, come home, still not be so exhausted, even though they were exhausted, but still come home, make dinner, sit, have a movie, all this stuff that seems like nowadays, it seems like you don't have time for hardly anything. You get home from work, you make yourself dinner, you sit down, and then it's bedtime or whatever, the only thing that makes time, the shorter time worthwhile for me is literally my own screen addiction to consuming information and befriending people all over the realm that are like-minded and like-hearted, and I love that. I love that I lose sleep to spend time learning with you guys and going and checking out other people's panels and seeing who's there and seeing people I know only by their handle, and you love them, you're like, there's Maggot.
Yeah, sleep's a waste of time. I don't go to bed until 5 a.m. every night. I'm up researching. The birds are singing before I go to bed. And I'm up by noon usually, sometimes sooner.
I love that for you. I love being up.
My day is as long as I want it to be. Ain't nobody the boss of me.
Well,
and
I know. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, Mike always says, it's after midnight, so it's technically tomorrow. And I'm like, no, the fuck it ain't. It ain't tomorrow until I go to bed and wake up. And then it's tomorrow. It's not tomorrow because of some stupid time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Charles, since it's taken us 20 minutes to say goodbye.
It's because we don't want to go.
I know I never want to go. I want to hang here with you guys forever, but we have lots of time in the future. Lots more time than.
Maybe I'll go live later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm bored. I just got to cook this food and it sucks. I only want to eat. I don't like cooking. No,
I know how that feels.
Cooking,
Me too. Sometimes. This morning I went out and got my coffee while you guys were chatting, and I went in and bought myself a made sandwich for half price from yesterday, and I was just so. I love that. Like you're like, I'm not cooking today. What am I eating? Somebody made it for me, and it only cost me $4. So I'll eat more than that. But I made some leftovers. I have some leftovers to heat up from last night. So, right. But I know exactly how you feel.
When you're done cooking the food and you're eating it, it'll be worth the time and the trouble, Chuck.
It always is.
Yep.
Always.
Exactly.
Yep. So, well, until next time, I love everybody in chat. Everybody. Even if you don't love me, I don't give a shit. I love you anyway. And I love everybody here. I love you, Bex. I love you, Chuck. Yes.
I love you guys too so much. And thanks again, Charles. And I love hearing you read. I love your spoken word. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And enjoy your meal.
In the chat. I'll try.
Okay.
Thank you.
Catch you next time.
Peace out, everyone. Dean, Mark, Basket, Marcel, Bex, Paula. Of course, Dean. I said Dean, right? Triple OG. And Kimba. Who else came in here? Come on, chat. Go backwards. The Taz Show. AK. Orphan Annie. I think Native. Yep, Native. Native Michigan. There's someone else. I know there was someone else. That I never seen before. How do I get in it? Oh. Hold on. It's gonna bother me if I don't find this person. Where did he go? Am I tripping? I don't know. Hold on. Man, maybe his name got erased. Mind's Eye. Damn, can't believe I forgot Mind's Eye almost. That wouldn't have been good. I don't know. Salute to everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for coming through. Peace.